throws it deep downfield. Tyree who makes the catch. What a play by Manning, and what a catch by Tyree. Manning takes the snap, lobs it left. First is wide open. Touchdown Giants!
Touchdown!
Deep ball down the left sideline, and it's going to be caught. Was he inbounds? Yes! Manningham on the sideline. Brady heaves one down the middle of the field into the end zone. A jump ball, and it's incomplete, and the ball game's over, and the Giants have won Super Bowl 46.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 8 of Papa's Perspective, presented by Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store and mattress partner of the New York Football Giants. I am John Schmelk, joined as always by the voice of the Giants. That is Bob Papa. As a reminder, Papa's Perspective can be found on the Giants Huddle podcast feed, so make sure you go there and subscribe, along with the other podcasts on the Giants Podcast Network, Big Blue Kickoff Live, and the Giants Media Pass. Again, it's on the Giants app at giants.com/podcast, but more importantly, on all your favorite podcast platforms. Leave a 5-star review if you're an Apple Podcast. It'll help the show grow. And tell your friends that are Giant fans about the podcast, too. Word of mouth is the best way to grow these things. Mr. Papa, how are you, sir?
Eagles week, baby. Eagles week. Giants going to Philadelphia.
Yes, which has not been a fun place to play over the last decade or so for the Giants, but we have pulled some really good games here, Bob, from earlier in the 2000s that are exciting.
Well, yeah, and, here's the funny thing for some Giants fans that may be a little bit younger. When Jim Fossil took over as head coach of the Giants in 97, he had a mastery over the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants would beat the Eagles regularly. In fact, the Giants over their history predominantly dominated the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why, you had the Strahan interception for a touchdown. Doug Peterson was the quarterback in 99 down in Philadelphia at the old Veterans Stadium. And Fossil beat the Eagles regularly, and Coughlin beat the Eagles regularly. Whether it was in Philadelphia or Giants Stadium, it's almost like the Yankees-Red Sox, where the Yankees owned the Red Sox, and then 2004, the world switched on its axis when Boston came back from 3 games down. The 2008 playoff game at Giants Stadium is the line of demarcation of where this series has gone completely lopsided in the Eagles' favor.
Which probably only happened because Plaxico Burress decided to wound himself in the leg about a month previously.
No doubt. The Eagles had no answer for him. He was their kryptonite, and he caused matchup problems for them that meant Brian Dawkins had to always shade toward Plaxico Burress, and it opened everything up. And when he was out, everything was different. Philadelphia could play the Giants differently. And then you have Deshaun Jackson, and you have all these other crazy scenarios. Elliott with the long field goal a couple of years ago. Ingram with a missed opportunity and a drop pass. I mean, the list goes on. But we have games from when the Giants went down to Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field, and had a lot of success. Like December the 11th of 2005. This was Eli's first year as the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. And, this is a team that's making a run to get into the postseason. And Tiki Barber is at his all-time powers at this point. He finished the game with 124 yards rushing. Eli threw for 312 in this game, but he had some mistakes. And the leading receiver that day was Jeremy Shockey. He had a 100-yard game for the New York Giants. So let's listen back to some things. I remember the Giants, they got the opening drive, went down the field, and right away Tiki gets the Giants up.
2nd and goal at the 4. Toomer races in motion to the near side right. Blitz on, Manning back, under pressure, throws it over the middle, completes it to Barber, who gets pushed into the end zone for a touchdown. He got help from his offensive lineman, and Tiki Barber with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season, and the Giants go 73 yards on the opening drive to take the lead.
12 plays, and boom, 7-0. Eagles come right back. Ryan Moats with a 40-yard touchdown run. So we're tied at 7 after 1. Now, the Giants had the ball late in the first quarter. They're putting together a drive. And, again, Tiki Barber, 2nd play of the 2nd quarter, he was awesome running the ball.
1st and 10, handoff right for Barber. Gets a crease, cuts it to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, fighting for the end zone. And he's down just inside the 1. Tiki Barber with a 26-yard, 2 feet, 11-inch run.
Yeah, so he almost got it in. Manning throws an incompletion on first down. Second down, the Giants, Brandon Jacobs gets stopped. And then the Giants, they're going to plunge it in and try to take a 2-touchdown lead.
Shockey wing left, Finn wing right. Manning calling signals, Finn in motion. Manning keeps it into the line, touchdown Giants on the quarterback keep. Eli Manning with a touchdown, his first rushing touchdown of the season, and the Giants regain the lead.
Just want to make sure, fans, you heard that correctly. They ran Eli Manning on a quarterback sneak.
Yes, they did. Now, Tom Coughlin in later years didn't want to expose Eli to hits, but remember, Eli was only in his second year. He was young and athletic and, well,
Spry.
spry.
As spry as he could be.
Because that was after Jacobs had gotten stopped on 2 consecutive runs. But Giants have the lead. Philadelphia gets first down, goes 3 and out. Tiki makes a big 3rd and 10 conversion, but the Giants have to settle for a field goal. So now they lead 17-7 in the second quarter, and they kind of have control of the game. They're playing good defensively, but then Ryan Moats rips off another long touchdown run, an 18-yarder. So at the half, after an Akers field goal, all that good is kind of washed away. So it's 17-7. Now, the Giants back then, they could get after the quarterback. The Eagles get the ball to start the third, and Big Blue gets some big hits on Mike McMahon.
McMahon over center. Short set, under pressure, gets sacked again back at the 40. Strahan and Robbins share one.
It's 2 in a row for Strahan.
Yeah, Michael Strahan, back-to-back sacks. Forces Philadelphia to try a field goal now to take their first lead of the ball game.
This would be his long of the season. His long this year, 48. Sets it, boots it, end over end, on its way, hits the crossbar and no good.
2 things I want to touch on here, Bob. 1, David Akers stunk kicking field goals against the Giants. Heck of a kicker. He could not make a kick against the Giants for like 10 years.
It's unbelievable. I mean, he missed so many. The guy was a very good kicker for Philadelphia. You're right, against the Giants, he had some big misses. So the Giants respond. They have a 1st and goal at the 2, but I remember they didn't score. Hey, does it sound familiar, Giants fans? Red zone frustrations goes all the way back to 2005. Jay Feely with a 21-yard field goal. Giants have the lead. Then the final play of the third quarter, again, I mean, Tiki was just masterful.
Manning to throw on 1st and 10. Checks off to Barber, middle of the field, accelerates to the right to the 45 of Philadelphia, dances to the Eagle 40, gets a block to the 35, cuts right to the outside to the 25, and knocked out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
People forget that, maybe don't remember the early part of his career. He started as a 3rd down back, so he always had the receiving skills.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Giants fans are not big Tiki Barber fans based on his outspoken comments as he was leaving the New York Giants, but when you take a look at Tiki Barber's last 5 years as a running back, they compare to the last 5 years of a lot of great running backs who are in the Hall of Fame. Tiki Barber
last 5 years. Try best 5 years of any running back in the Hall of Fame. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, Tiki Barber should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, I don't know if he'll ever get the momentum that he needs, because a lot of times it helps if a fan base or a media base is behind him. But in my opinion, Tiki Barber should be in the Hall of Fame.
The only thing he needs to do, Bob, is to get a network TV job on NFL Network. He'll get it in about 5 seconds.
Well, maybe. Maybe. We'll see if he could rebuild that component of his career. But in my opinion, Tiki Barber should be in the Hall of Fame. Anyway, the Giants have it. Red zone, field goal, so their lead is only 6. Eagles answered with a field goal. And then here's where things got hairy in the fourth quarter. The Giants have a 3-point lead, and the good Eli and sometimes the bad Eli popped up.
Dog formation to the right, Manning to throw, sets, fires it over the middle, intercepted by the Eagles. Sheldon Brown picked it off at the Philadelphia 43.
So Sheldon Brown picks it off. The Giant defense, though, holds Philadelphia to a field goal with 1:56 to go in the game. Akers makes a 50-yarder. So you're sitting there, all right, Eli, come on, drive the ball club. Remember, this is only Eli's second year, first year as a full-time starter. And with under a minute to go, the Giants are driving. And you're like, all right, they're almost in position for Jay Feely. But then Another pass for Shockey goes the wrong way.
Manning takes the snap, drops back, steps up, throws it over the middle, high, and it's intercepted again. Picked off by the safety, Michael Lewis, and he's tackled at the 38-yard line. Shockey was wide open, Manning high again.
Yeah, so 2 possessions in a row. Eli gets picked. Now, the Giants' defense rises up here, and they don't allow Philadelphia to score. All right, so then we go to overtime. It's the not everybody gets a trophy era, John, where this was whoever scored first won. Philadelphia had a 3rd and 12. Strahan gets a sack. Former Giant Sean Landeta punted the ball to the Giants. Now the Giants have a nice drive going. Shockey had a 12-yard catch. Barber for 10. Barber for 4. And the Giants have the ball at the Philadelphia 35. On 3rd and 3, Manning throws an incompletion. The Giants are not going to send out Jay Feely for a field goal here. It would have been about a 52-yarder, 53-yarder. So Tom Coughlin goes for it, and Eli gets picked off again. They didn't realize that it's 3 straight possessions minus the very end of the game. Got picked off again. Brian Dawkins picked him off.
It just shows you how different Bob was back then with the field goals. Like today, a 52-yard field goal is nothing. You'll throw out the worst kicker in the league to get a 52-yarder. Back then, much different conversation.
Yeah, so Eli's picked again. Philadelphia starts at their own 37, but the Giants' defense, they force a holding penalty, the whole thing, and they're in 3rd and forever, and the Giant defense makes a play.
3rd and 20 from the Eagles' 27. McMahon drops straight back, steps up, avoids some pressure, rolls right, gets sacked, lost the football. It's a free ball. The Giants recovered at the 30-yard line. Derek Allen recovered it on the sack. Strahan met at the quarterback with Umanura and Wilson, and they chopped it out of McMahon's hand.
I have a good memory, Bob, and I wasn't working here yet in 2005, but I got to be honest with you. I have no idea who Derek Allen is.
Yeah, no,
I have no idea.
He's a defensive lineman, part of the rotation. But you know who Umanura and Strahan are.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So that's all you needed to know. So now the Giants they recover the ball in field goal range. They don't get a first down, and then Jay Feely comes out for a makeable winner.
36-yarder from the right hash. Fiegels to hold. Feely set to win the game. Snap is good. Kick on its way, end over end. Plenty of length, and it is good! Jay Feely exercises the demons with a 36-yard game-winning field goal in overtime, and the Giants hang on to first place in the NFC East with a 26-23 victory.
Yeah, exercising the demons. Remember, he had that rough game in Seattle.
Oh, that was that same year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in Philadelphia, he exercised the demons, and again, it was another Giants overtime win against Philadelphia. I mean, they just had a way with beating the Eagles, which is what transpired the following year at Lincoln Financial Field. We had to go to overtime again. These teams love playing overtime. And, the Giants have a great overtime record in their history against Philadelphia, especially in the games down there. Now, this game I'll always remember. Barber didn't do a lot. Amani Toomer finished with a $137 and a couple touchdowns. Plax had 114. But this was a game in 2006 where Eli Manning's toughness was evident because he got sacked 8 times in the game, and he got hit about 1,000 times in this game. And I guess when we fast forward to 2011 NFC Championship game and Eli's toughness against the 49ers, we shouldn't be shocked because this was a perfect example of, the official stats say he was hit 9, sacked 8. Trust me, I was in the building. He was hit about 1,000 times. So here we go, though. The Giants, forget about sacks, got off to a fast start. Manning, on the very first drive of the game, the Giants were very good at scoring on first drives of games back in the day. Plax had a big catch on a 3rd and 8, And that set up a harbinger of kind of things to come where deep balls would play a factor.
Manning on a play fake, rolls right, has time, nobody open. Now he's it. Toomer's open, downfield, in the end zone, touchdown Giants! Right down the right sideline. He just got away from Michael Lewis, and the Giants drive downfield and score in their first possession.
Yeah, so 7-zip, but the Eagles come back behind Donovan McNabb and Brian Westbrook with a 12-yard touchdown run, ties the game at 7. Eli starts getting sacked on the next possession. Mike Patterson got him on the possession after that. Trent Cole sacked him for 7 yards. He's taking a pounding, so it was 7-7 after 1. Dante Stallworth had a 20-yard touchdown to start the second quarter, so the Giants are trailing 14-7. And again, like, Manning gets sacked on the next possession. I mean, he is taking a pounding. Philadelphia is trying to widen their lead. They drive it down the field, and then David Akers, man, against the Giants just was not automatic.
Left-footed kicker, tremendous talent. Akers set, good snap, kick on its way, plenty of distance, and it is no good. It hit the right upright. Three-quarters of the way up the right upright. What a rocket from Akers, but it's a miss.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of right uprights for Akers against the Giants, left-footed kicker. So the score stays where it is. Now the Giants are trying to drive it, right? It's near the end of the first half. Eli's trying to put together a 2-minute drill, but again, the pressure was brutal on him.
Manning back, under pressure, sacked by Curse at the 25, and Manning refuses to step up, and he keeps getting sacked. 5th sack of the half by the Eagles.
Javon Curse ended his career in Philadelphia, remember, after he was a monster earlier in his career, obviously, with Tennessee.
Yeah, he never got his game to the level that it was in Tennessee. But so that ended that drive. The Eagles get a field goal at the end of the half, so it's 17-7 Philadelphia. And they get the ball to start the third, and they score right away.
1st and 10 at the Giant 23. Again, McNabb, no huddle, communicates with his teammates verbally, gets everybody set. Comes over center, short set, looks right, throws right, and it's caught for a touchdown, Reggie Brown. It was underthrown. Corey Webster lost track of the football, and Brown just reached under him, grabbed it, and walked in.
And they're playing that damn fly, Eagles fly. It's 24-7. The good news for the Giants is on the next possession, Manning didn't get sacked, but they had a punt. They traded possessions. The next possession, Manning didn't get sacked again. That was kind of nice to see. But the Giants had a 3rd and long, and Manning hooks up with Plaxico Burress on a 20-yarder, and that was the play there. I'll never forget that. It's the last play of the third quarter, and all of a sudden, it like took a lid off the Giants a little bit, lightened them up a little bit, and then a tiki run, a Jim Finn catch, and next thing you know, the Giants early in the fourth quarter are within striking distance, and this is one of the craziest plays that I ever remember calling.
Manning on a 1st and 10. Drops back, no blitz, has time, over the middle. Burris has it, runs out of a tackle, lowers his shoulder, then fumbles it. The ball is loose, and the Eagles recovered. It's still loose in the end zone, and Tim Carter falls on it for a touchdown.
Tim Carter falls on it for a touchdown. And I thought the Eagles had a zillion chances to pick it up. I could still see the ball squirming around. And then Tim Carter falls on it in the end zone. So rather than remaining down by the number that they were down, 24-7, Tim Carter recovers it, and suddenly it's a touchdown. Giants are down 10, and with their ability to get after the quarterback, you're saying to yourself, okay, maybe. So they hold Philadelphia to 3 and out, and the Giants are driving. But unfortunately for the Giants, at the Philadelphia 41, they went for it on 4th and 2.
4th and 2. Manning back, pumps, looks over for Barber, deflected, intercepted by Trotter. Running left, down the sideline, and knocked it around the Giant bench on the 47.
And Bob, at this point, you're probably thinking, down 24-7, you get the one touchdown, but then you don't pick on the next drive, 24-14 Eagles ball in the fourth quarter. Your hopes right now are pretty slim.
Yeah, I thought maybe Coughlin might punt it, try to pin and play field position. The good news is the Giants held Philadelphia to a 3 and out. They get the ball back with 8:45 to go, down 10, still doable. They get the ball to Philadelphia territory, but they have to punt. This time they punt. They pin him at the 17-yard line. And now, the Giants are trying to stop them however they can stop them, try to get the ball back because they're down 10 points, and they need a play, and the defense makes one.
Westbrook fumbles the football. It's loose on the ground. They dive for it, and the Giants say they have it at the 34-yard line. And no signal yet. Antonio Pierce says it's out ball. And so does the referee, Bill Carollo. So with 4:13 to go, the Eagles turn it over. Giants down 10. Another chance for the Giants.
With 4 minutes to play, so there's still hope.
Yeah, and Jabril Wilson is the guy that forced the fumble. Will Demps recovered it, but now the Giants have to go quick. And, Monty Toomer had a big 11-yard catch in this sequence, and then Toomer gets his second score of the game.
Manning takes the snap, back to throw. Has time, throws it into the end zone for Toomer. Makes the catch. Touchdown. He got his feet down. Amani Toomer with a great catch in the back of the end zone. And with 3:28 to go, the Giants are right back in it. They're down 4 with an extra point pending.
Down 4 with an extra point pending and 3:22 to go. Tom Coughlin was very good with his time management and how he would handle games. And, he had all 3 timeouts remaining. And that proved to be a big factor because Philadelphia starts at their own 22. Westbrook, nothing on the ground, timeout. McNabb scrambles, runs for 3, timeout. The Eagles get it to the 2-minute warning because they convert a big 3rd and 7. Now you're like, oh, darn, that's not good. But what happened in this sequence was after the Giants used their 3rd and final timeout, just under the 2-minute warning, Philadelphia had to call a timeout with 1:05 to go after a McNabb pass went for 8 yards on a 3rd and 12. They had some confusion. It was a mistake by Andy Reid. So they used a timeout. So they stopped the clock on a ball that was in play. And that created time for the Giants, created an opportunity. And lo and behold, Giants get the ball back with 58 seconds to go. Manning hits Tim Carter on a big 22-yarder. And with just seconds remaining in the game, out comes Jay Feely to tie it.
Feely set, snap, spot, kick on its way, plenty of leg, and it is good! With 7 seconds to go, the Giants have come back from a 24-7 deficit to tie the game at 24, and they're 7 seconds away from overtime, and Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia is stunned.
Well, and they're stunned because the play before, or 2 plays before, one play before, Shockey had an 8-yard catch. But the Giants, with 15 seconds to go and no timeouts, they were out of field goal range. They're at the 40-yard line, but Trent Cole got called for unnecessary roughness.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Stopped the clock. That moved the ball to the 17, which got it in field goal range. So the Giants get the ball to start overtime.
Was that a hit on Eli Manning that he got called for the unnecessary roughness?
Yeah.
Ugh, boy.
So that was unnecessary roughness, dumb play, and next thing you know, here go the Giants with the game-tying field goal. Now, they get the ball to start OT, and they got the ball at the Eagles' 42-yard line, but Eli gets sacked. And then he gets sacked again. And they went from 1st and 10 at their own 47 to 3rd and 18 at their own 39. So they punt the ball away, but the defense doesn't give up any ground. Philadelphia punts the ball, so the Giants start at their own 15-yard line. And, the ability to run the football is so important, John. And this Giants team could run the ball. And what do? Like right out of the gate, Barber for 9, Barber for 7, then Toomer with a 10-yard catch. The Giants are moving the ball. Tiki converts a big 3rd and 1 at the Philadelphia 46. Tiki for 5 more. Brandon Jacobs had a run of 9 and 15 on this thing. So now they're pounding, they're grinding, they're pounding, they're grinding. But they find themselves because of a false start. Well, first of all, Tim Carter got called for an offensive holding penalty on the Jacobs run. And then our fellow Giants media darling, Sean O'Hara, got called for a false start. Snapping the ball. So now instead of 3rd and 6 at the 26, it's 3rd and 11. And you're like, all right, got to make a play here. And the Giants do with a walk-off.
Manning in a shotgun. 3rd and 11. Drops back. Blitz on. Heaves it left for Plaxico Burress, who makes the catch for a touchdown. Burress just beat Sheldon Brown for a touchdown, and the Giants have won in overtime, and they come on the field in Mob Manning.
8 sacks, hit 1,000 times, big plays, Plaxico with the touchdown. It's one of my favorite games against the Eagles that I've called, especially down in Philadelphia. So the Giants win that one, and on we go to 2008 regular season. Now remember, 2008, the Giants are the best team in the NFL. They are kicking ass and taking names. And the 08 team, Coughlin will tell you, anybody that was on that team, that was the best team of all of them.
Best team I've ever seen.
Best New York Giants team that we've seen. Well, I'm a little older than you. You know, I did see the 90 Giants. You know, and I watched the 86 Giants, but I was working with the 90 Giants. But this 08 team was just, they were phenomenal.
They would not just win games, Bob. They would physically dominate opponents week after week and literally pound them into the ground on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and remember, again, the Giants, the Steelers beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl in Tampa that year. The Giants beat both of those teams on the road that year.
Didn't the Giants beat all 4 teams that were in the championship games too that year?
Yeah, they beat everybody. But Philadelphia would go and win at Giant Stadium after the Plaxico thing. But Burress was playing. It's December the 9th, Lincoln Financial Field. And the New York Giants are just, getting things done. But I will say this, the game did not start out the way the previous couple of years had started out on games in Philadelphia where the Giants went down on the first drive and scored.
Giants in an offset eye right. Eagles show blitz. Manning back, pumps over the middle. Pass deflected and intercepted by the Eagles. Running at the 20 to the 15 and knocked down at the 10-yard line is Mike Patterson. Oh, he had Boss wide open over the middle. It got tipped, and Patterson gets his second career interception.
Yeah, the guy in the PA helping you in the background there. Mike Patterson for you.
Big Mike Patterson, defensive line. He was a stud. This was a Sunday night football game on NBC, because this rivalry was pretty heated. And I remember there was so much buzz about Deshaun Jackson. He was just new in the league. He could catch it. He could return punts. He could return kicks. He could run it fast. And after that interception, Eagles started the Giant 9-yard line. Second and goal at the 9, Deshaun Jackson, right around the right end, 9-yard touchdown run, direct snap to him. And Philadelphia is up 7-0. So they're feeling like, hey, Deshaun Jackson, that's the new thing for us. That's our new answer to the Giants. But the Giants respond and come up big on a 3rd down in Philadelphia territory to get this game tied.
Manning in a shotgun set. He's got Burress to his left split. Ward in the backfield as a protector. Manning takes the snap, back to throw, has time, throws to the end zone for Burress. Touchdown, Giants. And just like that, the Big Blue go 80 yards. Plaxico Burress gets his 4th touchdown catch of the season.
And remember, he just dominated the Eagles. It's just what he did.
Dominated the Eagles, and Kevin Boss had a big 22-yard catch on that drive on a 3rd and 1. So the Giants tie it up really quickly, stabilize the game, and then they get a play out of their special teams.
Tynes sends it high to the far side. Demps from his own 4. Veers left to the 20. Hit, knock, ball is loose on the ground, picked up by the Giants, and the Giants have it at the 15-yard line.
And by the way, now we've had a Will Demps and a Quentin Demps reference on the same podcast. Not bad.
Yeah, and Chase Blackburn recovered it. And you know who forced that fumble? Ahmad Bradshaw. Because remember, it's only his 2nd year.
7th-round pick, yep.
It's only his 2nd year. So the Giants start at the Eagles' 13, but they don't do much with it. So Carney kicks a 27-yard field goal. The Giants have the lead. So the Giants hold Philadelphia to 3 and out after the Carney field goal, but they got a nice drive going. They don't even face any 3rd downs until the last play of the 3rd quarter, which sets up a score to put the Giants up 10.
One set left. Hickson, Toomer, and Smith. Play clock at 7. Manning calling signals. Takes the snap. Steps up. Throws to the end zone. Caught at the 1. Toomer fighting for the goal line, and he did not get in. He's just short. But it's another third down conversion as Manning fired a bullet to Amani Toomer. First and goal inside the 1. Eye set. Manning back to throw. Looks, throws to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown by Kevin Boss. In traffic as Manning took a shot. And Kevin Boss again catches a touchdown pass. His 4th of the season, 3 weeks in a row. And the Giants go 80 yards for the second time tonight, and they widen their lead.
Yep, so they widen the lead. The teams trade possessions. And, you know, the Giants, though, have control of this football game. And then self-inflicted wound.
Handoff, Jacobs gets a block from O'Hara. Jacobs to the 40, hurdles a man and gets hammered. Lost the football, it's loose, and I think the Eagles have it.
They did. Chris Gokong, remember that name?
Yeah.
He forced the fumble, and guess who recovered it? Mike Patterson, who had the interception. McNabb hits Jason Avant for a touchdown. So the Giants in control of the game, but now their lead is only 3. We're still in the second quarter. Another quick possession for the Giants, and here come the Eagles working their 2-minute offense with Donovan McNabb when the Giants' defense makes a play.
McNabb out of the shotgun set. He's got Westbrook to his right. Play fake, McNabb back to throw. Sets, throws one right. Intercepted by Sam Madison at the 35. Running down the left sideline to the 25. Skips to the 20, to the 15, and steps out of bounds there.
Sam I am with the pick, and but the Giants have to settle for 3, so the lead is only 6. Philadelphia gets the ball with 1:42 to go in the half. They drive it downfield. Akers kicks a 29-yarder. Good defense by the Giants to keep them out of the end zone and make sure that they at least have the lead. So it's 20-17 at the half. Eagles come out, start the third, and Hank Tiskett, a Taskett, a green and yellow basket had a 7-yard touchdown catch to start things off. And suddenly, the Giants' 10-point lead has evaporated. And they find themselves losing 24-20. But at this point in time, John, you remember, the Giants were so good that year. You always felt like they were going to win games, even if they fell behind. They convert a 3rd and 4 on the next possession of Steve Smith. And then Kevin Boss always comes up big, and he did on this drive.
Play clock at 10. 2 receivers left. Here they come. Manning back, steps up. He's going to run. Pumps now, throws it to Boss, who makes the catch at the 5, but he was over the line of scrimmage. Line of scrimmage was the 20, and he was past the line of scrimmage, I believe, when he threw it.
Illegal forward pass. Offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. 4th down. After review, the quarterback's back foot was not beyond the line at the moment the ball was released. There is no foul in the play. The ball belongs to New York at the 3-yard line. New York is not charged with a timeout.
My favorite part of that is hearing the Eagles fans in the background realize exactly what's happening to them and not being happy about it.
Yeah, it's Terry McCauley was the referee in that game. And, Eli, the back of his foot, all you need is one body part, any part of your body behind the line, and it counts.
Which is so weird because every other rule is if it's one body part either on the out-of-bounds line, then you're out. But for this, if it's one part behind, you're in. It's very odd how they decide to do that.
It really does not make a lot of sense. So 2 plays later, the Giants regain the lead.
2nd and goal at the 3. Handoff, Jacobs runs right to the goal line. No signal yet. Touchdown. There's the power of football of the Giants. Jacobs' 8th rushing touchdown, and the Giants have the lead with 5:56 to go in the third. With an extra point pending, they'll go up 3.
Listen to some of these numbers too. I mean, I know it's been a tough year for Giants fans. Like Jacobs' 8th rushing touchdown, and this game was played on November the 9th.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So the Giants have the lead. 3 and out go the Eagles. Late in the third quarter, Eli hits Kevin Boss again on a 3rd down for 13 yards. So the Giants are putting a drive together. And let's listen to Kevin Boss work a little magic.
3rd and 2 at the Eagles' 35. Boss goes in motion. Eagles show blitz. Manning back, throws one left. He completes it on the sideline. Boss open. He jumps over a man and then gets knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
You know
what is it with this jumping?
I tell you what, in the film session,
I bet tomorrow Tom Coughlin's going to say the next one that jumps is going to get a big fine because it leaves your body vulnerable. Now, he was to the sideline and used it to his advantage. And
Now, it's funny because now people heard her all the time. And this is pre-Larry Donnell when it was just, cannonball into the pool with Larry Donnell.
Well, because remember, Jacobs fumbled earlier in the game jumping.
Mm-hmm.
So the Giants have it 1st and goal, but they have to settle for a field goal. So their lead is only 6. But, their defense does a nice job. They hold Philadelphia. And then Sav Roca was the punter. Kicks a 46-yarder. And Dominic Hickson returns at 73 yards for a touchdown. And you're like, ooh, yeah, party's on, 37-24. But wait, nope. Michael Johnson got called for a hold. So that takes the touchdown off the board. So now the Giants start at the 40-yard line after the punt instead of having a touchdown. And Bradshaw goes for 23, but he fumbled it. Fortunately, he fumbled it out of bounds. Giants converted a 3rd and 7. Derek Ward got stopped, but Philadelphia got called for a penalty, defensive offside. So then Jacobs converts what was a 3rd and 2 at the Philadelphia 9, and then Jacobs finishes it off to give the Giants the lead.
Their 6th trip in the red zone. They have 2 touchdowns so far. Handoff Jacobs up the middle, spins, moves the pile forward to the goal line. Touchdown, Brandon Jacobs.
So Jacobs scores. This was, one of those deals where I'm not a big fan of this. Like, Coughlin and company decided to go for 2 to make it a 14-point game instead of going up 13 with the extra point. They failed on the 2-point conversion because they didn't run their customary draw. They actually threw the ball. If they would have run the draw to Bradshaw, it would have worked. Because it doesn't matter who the running back was. From Ahmad Bradshaw to Brandon Jacobs
to Ruben Drones
to Orleans Darkwa to anybody in between, to Wayne Gallman,
Andre Brown.
The 2-point draw seems to work, but they threw it. I didn't like when I wasn't happy that they went for 2 there. Philadelphia gets the ball back. Now they're in hurry-up mode. Kevin Curtis with a 2-yard touchdown catch. So now the Giant lead is only 5 in this ball game, and there's like 5.5 minutes to go. Derek Ward on a 3rd and 1 fumbled the football. Now Kareem McKenzie recovered it, but the Giants don't get the first down. They have to punt the football away. But the lead is 5, okay? So now here we are with 3 minutes to go in the game. Philadelphia is driving. We're inside the 2-minute warning. Field goals do you no good at this point, right? So they got to go for it, and they go for it with 1:55 to go on a 4th and 1.
McNabb calling signal. Handoff Westbrook. Runs right. He is stopped. Stopped short. Aaron Ross, Antonio Pierce, and Justin Tuck shut him down. No gain.
Well, that's some good names right there, man.
And you know who else was in on that tackle? Chase Blackburn. Chase Blackburn. So the Giants take over with 1:47 to go. Philadelphia only had 1 timeout remaining, and the Giants wind up taking a knee. And they win this one 36-31, and it's another win down in Philadelphia, unfortunately for the Giants.
How many rushing yards did they have in that game, Bob? I'm just curious. Just because that team was so good on the ground that year.
Let me look at the play-by-play. In that game, the Giants had 45 rushes.
45 rushes.
For 219 yards.
That's not too shabby. Not a bad day's work.
Yeah, I mean, they had 400 yards of offense to the Eagles' 300. They averaged 5.2 yards a play. Jacobs had 126.
Man.
Derek Ward had 53. Bradshaw had 38 on just 5 carries. He averaged 7.6 yards a carry.
Takes the Giants 3 games to get those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, Eli only threw for 191, 2 touchdowns and the 1 interception. So, meanwhile, Philadelphia, McNabb had 194 yards passing in the game. So, it's another win. Unfortunately, we all know what happened in that playoff game. Because if Plaxico doesn't shoot himself in the leg, and the Giants host the Eagles, because the Giants had the number 1 seed. Remember, they beat Carolina.
Yep.
everybody's coming through MetLife. The Giants win that game, then Arizona's coming in, Kurt Warner and the Cardinals in the freezing cold. Giants are going to the Super Bowl.
And then it's Green Bay, I think. Was it Green Bay in that mix too, or no? I think it was Arizona. I think Arizona had beat Green Bay.
So Arizona would have wound up coming to the Giants, and in Giant Stadium, I didn't like their chances. And then, if they would have played Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl again, I would have liked the Giants' chances then too.
Yeah,
but you know what? It didn't happen. And that is the regret of all those players that are on that team because they were the best team in the NFL.
What sticks in my mind about that Pittsburgh game in the regular season that year, didn't James Harrison have the long snap on a punt and he snapped it into the end zone, right, for a safety? I remember right?
Yeah, it was it was a close game. It's not like the Giants blew them out or anything, but they still did beat them.
Oh, yeah.
So we're keeping all these games in Philadelphia. Now, the worm has turned a little bit after that 2008 home playoff loss. And now Philadelphia is starting to find ways to beat the Giants in weird ways. Like the year before, the Deshaun Jackson punt return when the Giants are, they're going to win the football game. They're going to go to the playoffs. I mean, they were 10-6 in 2011.
Yeah, we chose not to go into a deep review of that game because we weren't interested in torturing Giant fans leading into Christmas. We didn't think it was the holiday thing to do, so we decided to pass on that one.
Yeah, plus that was a home game.
Correct, yes.
This podcast is just games at the Link, okay? So 2011, it's early in the season, and the Giants are having some issues at the receiver position. And remember, Victor Cruz had dropped a pass in the season opener against Washington on a third down. And after all of his excitement from the preseason in 2010, remember he was on IR most of 2010, he didn't have the greatest camp in 2011. He didn't look like the guy from the year before. And there was some question as to whether Victor Cruz was going to even stick on the roster. But Brandon Stokely suffered a hamstring injury. Mario Manningham.
By the way, Cruz barely made it out of final cuts that year at a training camp, too.
Mario Manningham was banged up, so he was inactive for the game. So they needed Victor Cruz they needed a body at wide receiver. And this is the game, September the 25th, 2011, when the legend of Victor Cruz was born. Plain and simple. The preseason game against the Jets the year before was in the distant memory, and now this guy was looking like a guy that was just, a preseason phenom from a year earlier, but an undrafted free agent that, is on the team. But they needed him to do something. So let's go back to that game. Michael Vick is now the quarterback. Giants do nothing on their first offensive possession. Eagles are putting a drive together, and they've got it deep in Giants territory when the Giants' defense rises up early.
Vick back, gets away from Williams, throws one left, deflected off Smith, intercepted by Aaron Ross at the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and tackled at the 26-yard line. It went off the hands of former Giant Steve Smith. Aaron Ross with the pick, and the Giants get the ball back after a long Eagles drive.
Yeah, this is post-Steve Smith injury when he left the Giants, and he was really never the same.
No, he was never the same. Great guy, a huge role in that Super Bowl 42 win. So the Giants, Bradshaw gets a 15-yard run on second down. Akeem Nicks has a catch. Bradshaw has a short catch, a short run. So, the Giants, after the interception, Bradshaw has a 15-yard run. Nicks has a 9-yard catch. Bradshaw for 4. Pass to Bradshaw for 5. And, Eli was not shy about throwing it to his running backs when needed.
2nd and 5 at the Philadelphia 40. Jacobs in a tailback. Manning on a play fake to throw. Has time. He's got Jacobs open wide down the left sideline. Makes the catch at the 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Giants. Little wheel route to Brandon Jacobs.
There you go. And by the way, didn't catch a lot of wheel routes, that Brandon Jacobs, but he caught it on that one.
Yeah, he did. And listen, Jacobs was an effective pass catcher. I mean, that's the thing about the Giants running backs in that era. I mean, Ward, Bradshaw, Jacobs, they could catch the ball out of the backfield, and that was a key weapon for them. And they had a 7-0 lead. So the Eagles get the ball back. Another long drive. JPP gets a big sack. And now the Giants are, they're kind of pinned at their own 18-yard line or whatever, and they got a third down situation, and they need to make a play. And again, the legend of Victor Cruz starts to manifest itself on this very play.
Manning back to throw, zips one left, caught by Cruz, runs out of a tackle to the 40, up to midfield, makes another man miss to the 45, down the left sideline. There goes Cruz, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Giants, 74 yards.
Victor Cruz, 74 yards, took a short little pass on a 3rd and 2, and it's like, all right, this kid Cruz makes a play.
Maybe he's just not a preseason player. Maybe he's more than that.
Well, he needed to bounce back after that season opener against Washington. So you're like, all right, there's a contribution. And the Giants are up 14-0. Another long Eagles drive, but the Giants hold them to a field goal. And then the Giants get the ball back, and they try to put another drive together. And Ahmad Bradshaw has a big run for Big Blue. Rips off a 37-yarder. So now on a 3rd and 5, 37 yards for Bradshaw. Giants are in plus territory. Interesting, again, Coughlin decides to go for it on 4th and 3 at the Eagles' 31-yard line, and he completes a pass to Travis Beckham. But it was 3rd and 3, and Beckham only went 2 yards on the route. So the Giants turned it over on downs.
Not ideal.
Shady McCoy, just inside the 2-minute warning, runs it in from 11 yards out. So here you are feeling like the Giants are going to widen a 14-3 lead, and the next thing you know, it's 14-10. The Giants do nothing with the next possession, and again, the Eagles drive it downfield. Jeremy Maclin had a big 24-yard catch, and then Henry kicks a 38-yard field goal. So a game that the Giants are controlling, they only lead by 1. So on to the third quarter we go. 3 and out for the Eagles. Giants get the ball. Manning gets sacked by Trent Cole. And, again, the Eagles had these long drives, man. This whole game. In the first half, the Eagles had the ball for like 21 minutes. And there's a big sequence. Philadelphia had 1st and goal at the 2. And there's a big 2-play sequence here where the Giants' defense does a really nice job to limit Philadelphia.
Vick over center. He'll keep it again, and he moves the pile. And no signal yet. No signal for a touchdown. They're saying he's not in. The officials come from each of the sidelines and say no touchdown. So now it'll be 3rd and goal. Vick calls signals, gives it to the fullback. He's going to lose a yard or 2. Schmidt gets pushed back to the 3.
Wow, that's interesting play calling there.
Yeah, Omar Schmidt. So Linval Joseph and Michael Boley with big plays. So Henry kicks a field goal. So the Giants are now, they don't have the lead, but they're only down by 2 at this point. And that's where we are going into the fourth quarter. But the Giants 3 and out. They got to punt the football away. Philadelphia, they got to drive. They decide to go for it on a 4th down in Giants territory.
Tight end lined up to the right. 2 tight ends set. Quick count. Handoff McCoy. Hit by Grant. Hit again, and he's tackled for a loss by Michael Boley at the 46.
Yeah, that was on a 4th and 1, and Michael Vick got hurt on that play, which knocked him out for the game. So the Giants are down 2, and the Giants, they start getting chunk plays, and then here's this kid Cruz again.
Manning back to throw. Has time. Deep ball toward the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown by Cruz. He took it away from 2 defenders. What a play by Victor Cruz, and the Giants have the lead back.
That is just straight competing. You've got to applaud this young man. He stepped up and made some plays, but good physical play there. Now, he's in double coverage, Bob. Catches it with his hands, number 1, and then number 2 just fights for every yard he gets.
Manning just threw it up to Cruz, who beat 2 defenders, including Asamoah, and he held the football out enough to break the plane for the touchdown. Oh, he dropped the football.
It's a catch and a fumble and a recovery, though, it would be.
Did he have control of it, complete the act of the catch, and then fumble it into the end zone, or did he never control it completely?
Caught with both hands.
Here's Jeff Triplett with the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Receiver caught the ball, stuck it over the goal line plane before he lost possession. It is a touchdown.
So, Victor, at that time, Nnamdi Asomugha was considered one of the top DBs in the NFL.
Well, this was the Eagles' dream team year when they brought in all those guys that did not work out.
No, it didn't. So then the Giants went for 2, and at first it did not succeed, but then it did succeed.
Manning, handoff Jacobs. He's going to run right, takes on defenders, and he's in for the 2 points.
Brandon Stokely had an incomplete pass on the first try, but there was a penalty.
Yeah, there was a defensive pass interference. So that made the score 22-16. So now the Giants are up 6. Now remember, I told you Vic got hurt in the previous possession. So now Mike Kafka had to come in at quarterback, and his first pass of the game, no bueno.
Kafka takes the snap. Pumps, looks, lobs one deep down the right sideline. Intercepted by Aaron Ross at the 45-yard line of Philadelphia. He was step for step with Deshaun Jackson, and Ross played it beautifully. His second pick of the ball game, and the Giants get the football back.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Ross had wheels, and Deshaun Jackson was fast, still is fast. And so that's a big interception. Now the Giants, with 8 minutes to go, they get one of those old Giants grinded out drives. They convert a 3rd and 1. They convert a 3rd and 9. Philadelphia got called for a penalty on 4th down. Babin encroachment penalty. So now the Giants are in the red zone. They have a negative play. So now they got to convert a 3rd down. Now, remember, a field goal here would put the Giants up 25-16, right? So that's going to put them in good position regardless. But
2-score game, right.
Tom Coughlin, Kevin Gilbride, Eli Manning, they go for the kill shot.
3:39 to go in the game. Stokely in motion to the right. Manning drops back to throw. Little screen left for Bradshaw. He's got room. Bradshaw to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Giants! They run a little screen left to Ahmad Bradshaw. Eli Manning throws his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game.
Giants kick the extra point, so now they're up 13 with 3:32 to go in the game. I want to take a look at what Eli's final numbers were. He was 16 of 23, 254, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
16 completions for 250 yards. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they used to chunk it. And then the Eagles, at the 2-minute warning, they're trying to drive the ball. I mean, they're down by 13 at this point. They need 2 scores. And Kafka gets intercepted on a pass intended for Deshaun Jackson by Kenny Phillips. Giants take a knee, and the Giants win this one, another win in Philadelphia.
Before we say goodbye, Bob, I want to ask you one thing because we didn't touch on this. You've done games at the Link, and you did games at the Vet. Tell me about the Vet.
Well, the Vet, man, you would come out of that locker room and walk down that tunnel to get to that ridiculously rock-hard AstroTurf field, and you'd be like, what the is this? I mean, this is, like, brutal. The fans were right on top of you, just cursing, and it was a very intimidating place. It was a very intimidating place. Now, Lincoln Financial Field can be intimidating as well, but
you were scared at the Vet, like
at the
for
Vet.
your safety.
Yeah, like you didn't go in today's world where everybody has jerseys now. It's acceptable. I mean, you don't really be running around with Giants jerseys on in Philadelphia ever, but you could get away with it at Lincoln Financial Field. At the Vet, it was a non-starter. There was no people wearing jerseys in the stands.
Unless you literally wanted to go and fight, you would not wear a jersey.
Right, in the jail cell in the basement there at the Vet. So that
a judge. Did they have a judge at the Vet?
Yeah, I think they had a judge there. It was a rough place, which is kind of ironic because the Giants had a lot of success down there. But Lincoln Financial Field, there were a lot of good memories of games down there. A lot of fun drives back up the New Jersey Turnpike. Not as much in recent vintage, even recently. You go back to, the game where I think Janoris Jenkins and I can't remember who the other corner, they run into each other, which allowed a completion, which allowed an Elliott 60-yard field goal to beat the Giants. There was the Sunday night game where the Giants were driving it down the field, and there was a drop pass, and it looked like Eli had Martellus Bennett open, but there was poor protection. There was also a check down that was available. There was the game in which Evan Ingram dropped the pass at the 2-minute warning. Eli's last start in Philadelphia, Giants could have won that game too. I mean, there's like a zillion. Put it this way, they haven't been blown out a lot in Philadelphia. In fact, they've had a chance to win a lot of games over the last 10 years down there. They haven't, but
they always find a way to lose in the most painful way possible. It's what they
unbelievable. It's uncanny. But there is positive reinforcement of a time when they did win those games.
Bob, this was fun. We only got 2 of these left. We got the Bears, then we close out with the Washington football team. So should have a couple good set of games there.
Yeah, looking forward to it, John. Love doing these, and hopefully the fans are enjoying a little walk down memory lane.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you enjoy your holiday. We'll be back with 2 more episodes of Papa's Perspective. For Bob Papa, I'm John Schmelk. As a reminder, it's all brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store and mattress partner of the New York Football Giants. And again, you can find Papa's Perspective on the Giants Huddle podcast feed. We'll see you next time.